what's up? My name is Natalie. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about tips for Burning Man virgins, aka first timers. Apologies, the lighting is going to change a lot throughout this video because I am right next to a window and it is 5:40 p.m. and it's getting darker and darker, so there's going to be a lot of lighting changes throughout this video. I'm sorry about it. So I've been wanting to make this video for a really long time, pretty much ever since I went to Burning Man. I've been wanting to make this video, but I waited, and I feel like now with the main sale having just happened and people starting to put feelers out for tickets and really starting to prep for the burn, I felt like it was a good time to make a video about things that I think are really important for first timers to know when going to the burn for the first time. So Burning Man is a huge festival in Nevada in the heat of the summer in August. It's the week of Labor Day. Around 70,000 people attend the event, and it can be really overwhelming if you don't know what to plan for. Some people wouldn't even call it a festival. They would call it a temporary autonomous zone or a social experiment in the desert. I think it's all of those things, but I just use the word festival because it's a lot easier. But make no mistake, Burning Man is not like Coachella. It is not like EDC. It is not your typical music festival. It's not even a music festival. It's just a crazy event in the middle of the desert. So with that being said, last year was my first burn. I'm preparing to go to another one. I've gone to a regional since then as well. And these are things that I either found out from researching online or things that I wish I would have known going into the event my first time. If you're going to the burn for the first time this year, I believe these tips will be really helpful for you. And if you are, leave a note down in the comments. Maybe we'll see each other in the dust. Okay, tip number 1, bring electrolytes and also bring emergency or airborne or Zicam, something to prevent you from getting sick. Part of the problem is you have no idea how much you're sweating out there. The Black Rock Desert is really dry and breezy, really windy out there. So you can be sweating a lot from the heat, but the wind is drying it instantly. So you're almost not even aware of how much you're sweating sometimes out there until you feel sick and then you realize, oh yeah, I haven't taken any electrolytes. So yes, drinking water is incredibly important, but if you're not taking in the correct amount of electrolytes, you're not retaining water, you're just flushing it all through your system and you're losing valuable minerals, you're losing sodium, you're losing all of those good things that are gonna make you feel good at the end of the day. So bring electrolytes and take them every single day. Tip number 2 for virgins, baby wipes. These are Aliva Naturals bamboo baby wipes. I like them because they're minimal on the environment, they're more natural, they don't contain any weird chemicals. And I think they're biodegradable. Yeah, they're biodegradable. So I like that about them too. I like those personally, but it really doesn't matter. Just bring baby wipes. Even if you're bringing a shower in your RV, or even if you're bringing some type of cleaning system, you can never have too many baby wipes. Baby wipes are just handy on the way in the car, on the way out in the car, cleaning random things around your camp. If you just want to wipe down your hands or you want to wipe down your feet at the end of the night before going in your tent, whatever it may be, baby wipes are great, so bring them. Number 3, bring heavy duty moisturizer and bring a lip balm with SPF. The desert is really dry. This is not news to anybody, but sometimes people forget that when they're going somewhere like this, that you actually really need to bring hardcore moisturizers. So bringing things like Gold Bond creams or Eucerin heavy duty creams, or even like coconut oil, that can be really great because it's really all purposeful. You can use it in your hair, on your body, even like in your nose if you need to. It's really dry at Burning Man, and honestly, being dirty is not that big of a deal, but having your skin peel and crack from the dry alkaline dust, that's not fun. So make sure you bring moisturizer, make sure you bring lip balm with SPF so your lips don't get burned. That's one thing that a lot of people forget. They just bring regular lip balm and then they're confused at the end of the week when their lips are cracked and peeling and are on fire. I mean, bring SPF in everything you use. Make sure it's gonna lather your skin, keep it moisturized so that when you go home, the damage control is less. Number 4, bring lights and bring batteries for those lights. Burning Man is a lovely, beautiful place, but at night it becomes even more beautiful and lovely because everything is lit up. However, there aren't street lights. There aren't lights to guide you back to camp. Pretty much all of the lights that you see at Burning Man are lights that people brought for their own camps or for their own bicycles or for themselves. So if you're not lit up, you're going to be called a darkwad. It's basically a term for someone who doesn't light themselves up at night and is prone to getting hit by other people on bicycles or even in art cars. So don't be one of those people. Be safe. Bring lights. It doesn't have to be anything special. Just don't get glow sticks because those things are really bad for the environment. Get like a cheap pair of LED fairy lights if you want. You can literally string them all around you. You can get a headlamp. You're good to go. You don't need anything crazy. You don't have to spend a ton of money on lights or anything, but make sure that you're lit up from all sides. So I personally sewed lights onto my backpack so that I'm seen from the back. I have light up sneakers and I have a headlamp as well as a light up necklace. And for me, that's plenty of lights. Also, on that note, make sure that you decorate your bike in a way that's unique to you. It doesn't have to be anything expensive or crazy. I literally threw an orange luau necklace on my bike last year that I got at a bar mitzvah when I was 12. And I stuck a runner's light on it that was a flashing red light that you clip onto a running belt. And that was it. I think I also had some fairy lights strung over the bike, but that was all I had. And it actually made it so much easier to spot my bike in the middle of the night. Number 5, bring 2 pairs of socks per day. That's right, 2 pairs. You want to have 1 pair in the morning and 1 pair in the evening. Now this is because at Burning Man, the temperatures can vary drastically. It can be super, super hot first thing in the morning at 10 a.m. It can be like in the high 90s. And at night, it can drop all the way to 30 or 20 sometimes, depending on really cold years. I mean, that's really rare. I would say it's probably going to go somewhere in the 40s. But it feels really cold. You're out in the middle of the desert and it's windy. So you want to have really warm, ideally wool socks for the evening, and you want to have just nice, clean, light socks for the daytime. Honestly, if you don't change your clothes the entire time you're there and you just change your underwear and socks every day, you'll feel clean enough for Burning Man. I know that that sounds gross, but it works. Also, make sure that your socks come above your boots. If you're wearing ankle boots, make sure the socks are just above your ankle. If you're wearing high knee boots, get those really long ballet socks that go all the way up to your knee, because the last thing you want is to have chafing and rubbing and blisters from your boots hitting you all the time, because by the end of the week, you're not going to want to wear them anymore. You're going to be miserable. Walking is going to be so painful. So save yourself the trouble and get socks that are high enough for your shoes. Okay, going along with what I said about not having to change your clothes as often as you think you will, tip number 6 is bring less clothing than you think you're gonna need. Trust me, last year I brought way too much clothing. I think that this is just a problem that a lot of girls or guys who are really into fashion just experience. You know, you get really excited about the outfits you're gonna wear and you think you're gonna wear more than you will. And then you get out there and you realize that half of your outfits aren't even comfortable, or it's really, you're just tired by the end of the week and you don't really want to put much effort into changing. You just want to be clean and comfortable. So bring less than you think you're going to need. I'm serious. Bring like 2 to 3 daytime outfits. If they're really lightweight clothing, those things are generally smaller, so you can pack more. And I would say bring like 1 or 2 really warm weather outfits that you can just wear on repeat. And just make sure you got enough underwear and socks to get you through the week. You're gonna be dirty at the end of this experience. Your clothes are gonna be dirty, but you don't stink as much out there as you think you're gonna. Like, something about the dust just getting in everybody's noses, no one can smell anything. I think that the dust out there really does act like a baby powder. It just kind of neutralizes any weird smells you got going on until you get in your car, and then all of a sudden all of your senses come back and you want to take a shower instantly. Tip number 7, bring ZIPLOC bags. These things are so handy. This was a tip that I think I heard on Reddit last year. Someone was suggesting to put each individual day's outfit in one of these bags, and then you're keeping it clean, you're keeping it out of the dust, and it's portioned in a little area where you know, like, oh, this is the outfit that I wanted to wear on this day, or this is my white outfit for Wednesday, because that's a thing. Personally, I don't know if I'm gonna separate all of my outfits into Ziploc bags this year because I'm trying to bring less outfits in general, but putting my socks and my underwear in a bag and keeping those clean and separate from everything else was incredibly helpful. And honestly, packing your things in Ziploc bags saves a ton of space. You also really want to make sure that on your way out, you have a clean outfit packed in a Ziploc bag for traveling home. Whether you're driving all the way back to where you came from or whether you're flying, you want to have a clean Exodus outfit. Exodus is when everyone is leaving the event and you're waiting in a crazy long line. I changed into my Exodus outfit right before we got in the car to go so that the driver's seat stayed clean and wasn't covered in dust. I would suggest doing that. If you want to have an Exodus outfit and then have a plain outfit, that's cool too. But keeping it in a Ziploc bag is going to make sure it doesn't get covered in dust throughout the week. It doesn't get mixed up with all your other stuff. You can even leave it in the car completely away from everything, and then you know where it is when you need to change into it. I would suggest bringing clean shoes for Exodus as well. It's just nice to have shoes that aren't covered in playa dust and falling apart and getting crap all over the floor of your car. Learn from my mistakes. Tip number 8, fill up on gas in Reno or just past Reno, not Empire or GERLACH. Now, specifically, this really only applies to people coming from south of Reno, but you know, you can switch it to wherever you're coming from and find out where the nearest big city is to the burn and how many hours away that will be. And get your gas there, because the closer you get to the burn, if you wait until like Empire or GERLACH, the last couple small towns before you get into Burning Man, the gas station there is gonna be crazy. The lines are gonna be all the way down the road, and you're not gonna wanna wait in that line, but you're gonna have to because you didn't plan well, unless you listen to me and you got your gas ahead of time, and then you got no problems. You just flown on into the burn. I mean, you're gonna have a line to wait in, but that's fine. Last year, what we did was we got gas in Reno, and I think I even got gas before Empire as well, just because I saw another gas station and I thought that that would be a good idea. And we also had a 5-gallon gas container in our car for safety purposes. If this is something you can do, if you're driving in and not flying in, I would highly suggest having a 5-gallon gas container just for safety. You never know what's gonna happen, or even if someone around you might need it, it's just super helpful to have. You can never be too prepared. Number 9, stop for a night in a city near Burning Man before and after the burn if you can. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't follow this advice last year. I said, screw it, I can't get the extra time off of work. I would rather maximize my time at the burn and just be sleep deprived. But it was a really dangerous decision, and it was kind of a selfish one, to be honest, because the entire drive back from the burn to LA, my boyfriend and I kept switching every hour, and we were both almost falling asleep at the wheel. We ended up stopping at a rest stop, I think for like 3 hours, and just passed out in the car until the sun rose, and then we kept driving. And even then I still felt exhausted. So just don't do what I did. Learn from my lessons. Stop at a super cheap motel. It doesn't have to be in Reno. If you're like me and you're coming from Southern California, you could push through Tahoe. There's a bunch of like quick little rest stop motels on the side of the highway. You could get all the way to Sacramento if possible. I don't know. Pick a town nearby that you think you can get to, and just research motels along the way that might be cheaper than staying in Reno. But there's no sense in risking your life and the lives of others on the road to get back to your town however many hours sooner than you would have. It's just not worth it. And finally, tip number 10, have no expectations. Last year, I was really into the planning and prepping and packing and organizing and researching in the weeks leading up to the burn. But I knew that when I got there, I wanted to have no expectations. I think there are a lot of people that go into Burning Man with expectations on a variety of things, whether it be the art they're gonna see, the people they're gonna meet, or the experiences they're gonna have. You can't plan for any of it. Burning Man gives you what you need, not what you want. The playa will provide what you need. So just go into the experience, just explore, be open, be generous with people if you want to be. There's really no right or wrong. Just don't be an asshole. If you take nothing else away from this video, I think having no expectations is probably the most important tip I could give someone going to the burn for their first time. You can watch all of the YouTube videos you want. You can read all of the Reddit posts that exist. You can read everything there is on the Jackrabbit Speaks and everything on burningman.org, but nothing is going to compare to what your real life experience is at the burn. And the best experiences come from not having any expectations and just going with the flow. All right, guys, that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you'd want to see next down in the comments. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. Until next time, guys, stay golden.